Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking more Wonder Woman. Of course, this is not new news, but we're talking about toys. And at the Toy Fair in 2017, the Mattel DC Multiverse line has a Wonder Woman line based on the Wonder Woman movie. As we know, the multiverse pulls from the DCEU, it pulls from the CW, it pulls from the New 52, it pulls from the classic DC lore. So you have different characters from different universes there. And as you can see right now in this photo here from the Toy Fair, we have the characters of Wonder Woman here. The center is Ares. Now these are all prototypes basically. Here you see Diana. You see her as Wonder Woman, and she's cloaked from the movie. You see Steve Trevor in the background holding a gun. You see Hippolyta holding a spear. Okay? And on closer inspection, here is Hippolyta in what would be the boxing of Hippolyta. Okay? And this is actually on sale now, I think, in Walmarts and so on, Toys R Us, etc. And this depiction, let's get a little close-up of that. This is Diana here. Diana, when she's on Themyscira, she hasn't gotten her accoutrements yet. And you see her with the sword and the bracelets. Here's the bracelets on her. She has the sword. This is a little closer look. Not really resembling Gal Gadot so much. The hairstyling and everything, though, is pretty cool. From a distance, I guess it looks kind of like Gal Gadot dimensions and everything. In the background, you see the Ares and you see Hippolyta. Here it is. From afar, kind of resembles Diana, the shape of the head and everything from afar. Closer, it's not as much. Okay. Here's the Wonder Woman in her costuming here. And once again, it looks not quite like Diana, but again, it does kind of have the appearance, not Diana, but Gal Gadot. It kind of has the appearance of Gal Gadot. Kind of. General appearance. Okay. So that's pretty awesome. Here we see Ares, the god of war. Probably get a close-up of him here. Yeah, there you see his glowing eyes inside of this helmet, which is made of what looks like a bison or bull's head. Very nice. Here it is again. In his suit. And I think you have to assemble Ares. And actually Ares, I don't think Ares will actually appear like how this rendition of him is, per se. It's Hippolyta again. This actually has some resemblance to the actor. It really does. Which is pretty good. And this is Chris Pine, and it does have a resemblance to Chris Pine. It's you see him with the gun. He was using this gun in the movie, and this is Steve Trevor. Here is a piece of Ares. Okay, this is probably his mid-region, showing that he has to be assembled and that it comes with other pieces. It's Hippolyta again. Really outstanding work here to get some of the detail into there by Mattel. And remember, these figures are really being sold as toys to children. So that's a lot of detail for children. But this is the region that we just saw, this part here. So we know Ares has to be assembled, sort of like Killer Croc. Alright, so there it is, right? And then we have here, and there's some good articulation by these figures. See, there's an articulation here, articulation this way, where you can rotate the arm, articulation at the elbow. It's good stuff. Alright. I don't know if this coat can come off of Wonder Woman. I think it possibly could. Okay. A lot of articulation everywhere for the figure. Alright, so those are the Wonder Woman figures at the Toy Fair. Now, what I want to show you is the actual figures on sale. One of them is, I think I talked about this in another video, Menelipe, right? And Menelipe, she's like the magician, high priestess of the Amazons in Themyscira, right? And she does kind of have a resemblance to the actual actor. Look at the face. And let me see if I can get the actual actor's face here. So there's a resemblance. And this is a 6-inch figure. Okay, so this is very small. The pricing tells us something as well. $19.99, almost $20. So there's a lot of detail that's gone into this figure. I really like this figure. She uses a bow and arrow. She also uses a spear. Okay, doesn't have a shield or anything. And I thought that the detailing in this figure is quite good. It's quite good. Let's have a better look at this figure here. We're in Mattel's site. Here is again her face. That's her face there. And there's a lot of detail in the figure. Here she's holding a bow. She's going to use it again with the arrow in the bow. Okay, let's see if I can get it up here. No, I can't. Down here. Alright, but there's a lot of detail there. We're zooming into the figure. And remember, this is a toy. Okay, ages 3 and up can actually play with this toy. So this is a lot of detail for a toy. Not an action figure, not a figure to put up and display, but actual toy. So I found this was quite good. Look at that. It's quite a lot of detail in that face. There's a lot of movement of the joints. You can swivel and crunch and so on. Alright, now along with the toy, we already spoke about this. You see Ares' sword. He says a fiery sword here. It's God of War. And what this tells me is that the Ares that we saw in the toy fair, which would be this Ares here, all the accoutrements for him are gotten in different figures. And this Ares here, the final figure of Ares, actually doesn't just have this sword here. He's got something much more elaborate. We're realizing that now. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, here she is again from a distance, and you see the flaming swords and her tools she has here. Bow, her arrow, and I think she also has a spear. I'm just zooming up so you can see her in great detail. I find it really marvelous. Marvelous work here for a toy. Alright. Now, we also had the Batman v Superman Wonder Woman. I didn't really like the Batman v Superman Wonder Woman that Mattel had. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see her facial features. That does not look anything like Gal Gadot. The dimensions are kind of off, and the figure is kind of off. So you see the figure? I mean, the detail on the figure is not even that great either. I don't think Mattel did a great job with that. But it is a toy, so children would play with it. Here it is again. Bad facial work. It wasn't good at all. They didn't capture anything that had to do with the actor Gal Gadot. There's no resemblance whatsoever. It's like a big old 50-year-old woman we're looking at here. It's just horrible. Not sure what they were trying to do, but it is what it is. So there you go. However, the Wonder Woman, for Wonder Woman, by the way, the pricing of this was $20, right? The actual Wonder Woman figure that the multiverse for DC Comics is actually giving, this Wonder Woman is absolutely like Gal Gadot. I mean, you're looking at this figure here. I'm going to zoom in. Look at that. That's Gal. That's Gal Gadot. And the detail is just so phenomenal. Now, I'm going to show you the detail of this figure compared to the detail of this figure. I mean, it's just, this figure is horrible, okay? This figure is outstanding, and I think it's because they put in a lot more work on the figure. This figure, the dimensions and everything fit Gal Gadot. You can zoom in and look at how much more precise the work is, the workmanship on it. Just really a lot of detail in such a small figure. This is a 6-inch figure, by the way. Just so beautiful. And this is even better than the Wonder Woman we saw in the Toy Fair, which, if I can draw your attention to that. Okay, there's the Wonder Woman down there. Let me see if I can get it. Here it is. This Wonder Woman here in the Toy Fair had some detail in it, but this Wonder Woman here is just so much better. I mean, the eye lines of Gal Gadot, I mean, they captured Gal Gadot in this figure. It's absolutely excellent work. Okay. So this figure's worth its, and for a toy, I mean, it's exceptional. You can see this is Gal Gadot's face here. That looks like Gal, even from afar. This is just remarkable, the kind of detail they were able to get into this figure. And this is a 6-inch figure. This is a toy, mind you. And it's just remarkable detail. I'm really impressed by it. You get all the detail even in the suit. There's a lot of detail. This is a really high-end toy. Okay? And here it is. This time they're using, these are supposed to be bullets bouncing off of the bracelets. So that's what those yellow things are. And again, remarkable detail. There's a lot of articulation as well. There's double jointed articulation here so that the arm can bend all the way back. Really fantastic stuff here. This is Mattel's Wonder Woman figure. You know, the hairline, you can't do much with the hairline. It's kind of fixed, but as to everything else, it's just remarkable. See her from the back here. Here she is going to form the and lightning's actually forming around her. The lightning looks a bit goofy, but she's going to form the X as in the movie. I believe I showed you this figure already, but just the articulation of this figure, the sword, you know, nice detail on everything. Good sword. The sword even has detail on it. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. All right. Again, Gal Gadot's face. From afar, it's much more remarkable. Closer, it kind of doesn't look like Gal too much. So here's the set. And this is the set. The sword down here. You have the bullets to bounce off. You've got this, what looks like a fiery flame that surrounds her somewhat. Oh, this is just pure Gal. Pure Gal Gadot. It's really excellent. Just fantastic, man. Alright. And she has an extra pair of hands to hold things with. I really am impressed with this work. So this multi-push figure is a little bit more, $10 extra you're paying for it. And I think that is a far cry better than this Batman v Superman Wonder Woman and their multiverse. I really like this Wonder Woman, and if you gotta go pick up, I think when this lands in stores, if it has landed in stores already, it's probably gonna get bought out really quickly, because this is the best depiction of her by Mattel so far. I haven't really seen, you know, better depictions by Mattel of Wonder Woman. This is the best I've seen. And we've seen in the Toy Fair the Princess Diana version of Wonder Woman, and that's not even, I don't think, as good as this one. Alright, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. You know, you got your kids and so on, they probably will want to see this Wonder Woman. This is the Wonder Woman they'll want to pick up in stores. To me, it's the best depiction of Wonder Woman that Mattel has to offer at present in terms of this movie, Wonder Woman. There are other versions of Wonder Woman that Mattel has. Some more mainstream Wonder Woman, kind of cartoonish looking versions. This version is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. You know, I recommend this version over any other version of the Mattel line Wonder Womans, and it's pretty cheap for your kids. It's still kind of high end in terms of price, but it's relatively cheap. But this is the one I would go for. Anyway, on that note, you guys have a great one.